The universe is a vast and wondrous place. Humans have always tried to understand it. Sight is one of our most important senses. It helps us see the stars, the world, each other. Imagine a world without this light. A world perceived only through touch, sound, and smell. Ancient people thought deeply about sight. They also thought about what it means to be blind. It was not just a physical condition for them. It was a potent symbol, full of meaning. Blindness could represent a lack of understanding, or a hidden knowledge, a different way of seeing. This duality made it a fascinating topic. It appeared in their stories, their laws, their poems. The Bible talks a lot about blindness. Sometimes it means people who cannot see with their physical eyes. Other times it means something deeper, a blindness of the mind or spirit. Pete here. Thanks for watching Yahweh's Messenger. This is part 3 in this series. Today we're going to be looking into the Strong's number H5786. Biblical years 5,785 through 5,786 equals year 2025 to us today. Follow me on another fascinating journey in the word meanings using the Strong's Concordance. Words are like keys. They unlock doors to understanding. Each word in an ancient language carries history. It carries layers of meaning. In Hebrew, the original language of much of the Old Testament, or Tanakh, specific words can reveal a great deal about ancient ideas. The main Hebrew verb related to our topic is avar, avar. You might see this referenced as Strong's Concordance number H5786. This word is a verb, an action word. Its basic idea is connected to being blind or losing sight. It's the root from which ideas about blindness grow in the text. Understanding this root helps us see the core concept. Now, Hebrew verbs can change their form. These changes alter their meaning in subtle, important ways. One such form is called the piel stem. Often the piel stem makes a verb causative. So when appears in the piel stem, it means more than just to be blind. It means to make blind or to cause blindness. This is a crucial distinction. It implies an agent, a cause, something or someone that actively brings about blindness. Sometimes the Bible uses this idea of being made blind, quite literally. It talks about actual physical blindness. People who could not see the world with their eyes, sunlight, faces, landscapes, all were hidden from them. This was a very difficult condition in ancient times. Life was challenging without the benefit of sight. Imagine navigating a world without streetlights or guide dogs. In those ancient societies, there were no modern medical treatments for blindness. There were no special schools or advanced tools like we have today. People who were blind relied heavily on family and community. Sometimes, they were treated with compassion, as the Bible encourages. Other times, they might have faced misunderstanding or even fear. Their condition could be isolating. The Bible reflects these social realities. It shows both the vulnerability and sometimes the resilience of those who could not see. The verb, in its causative PL form, describes how someone becomes physically blind. Perhaps it was due to an accident or a terrible illness. Or in some stark instances, blindness was inflicted as a punishment. The Bible does not shy away from these harsh realities of the ancient world. It records these events. But this act of blinding is not limited to the physical eyes. Our minds can also be blinded. We can have perfect vision, yet fail to see what is truly important. We can be blind to truth, to justice, to wisdom. This is the realm of metaphorical blindness. The Bible uses this concept extensively and powerfully. It's a blindness of perception, of understanding, a darkness that clouds the inner sight. The prophets in the Bible often spoke of this kind of blindness. They accused people of having eyes but failing to see, of having ears but failing to hear the divine messages. This was a spiritual or intellectual blindness, a refusal or inability to grasp reality. People can become blind to justice. They might ignore unfairness if it benefits them. They can be blind to wisdom. Choosing foolish paths despite clear warnings. They can be blind to the consequences of their actions. Let's zoom in on a specific example, a law found in the book of Exodus, chapter 23, verse 8. The instruction is very direct, very clear. It says, "And you shall take no bribe," no ambiguity there, a straightforward command. This law was given to the ancient Israelites. It was part of the covenant, the agreement they made with Yahweh. But why this prohibition against bribes? The verse itself provides the profound reason. For a bribe blinds the discerning. The Hebrew word used here for blinds is Yahweh, from our root. It means the bribe blindness. It even sharp-minded people unable to see clearly. Those who are normally clear-sighted, the discerning or wise, lose their clarity. The bribe acts like a fog, obscuring their judgment. Imagine a judge presiding over a case. Their role is to sift through evidence, to listen to all sides, to discern the truth with impartiality. Their vision must be clear, their mind sharp. This warning about bribes is so critical. It is not a one-time mention. It echoes through the biblical laws. We find it again in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 16, verse 19. The command is restated with force. You shall not pervert justice, and you shall not accept a bribe. This repetition underscores its immense importance for a just society. It's a foundational principle for fairness. A society that allows bribery cannot be truly just. And once more, the text explains the devastating effect of the bribe. For a bribe blinds the eyes of the wise. Notice the target, the wise. Even those considered intelligent, knowledgeable, and sagacious. They are not immune to the blinding effect of a bribe. It suggests that the allure of personal gain can overpower even a keen intellect. The desire for more can make even smart people make foolish, unjust decisions. This is a sobering insight into human nature. A bribe not only blinds the wise but also subverts the cause of the righteous, or, as some translations put it, distorts the words of the righteous. Imagine someone who is honest and has a just cause. Their truthful arguments, their rightful claims are twisted or ignored. Now let us turn from laws to a story, a tragic narrative about a king named Zedekiah. He was the last king to rule Judah from Jerusalem. This was before the mighty Babylonian Empire conquered his kingdom. His reign was a time of great turmoil and danger. Powerful forces were closing in on his small nation. He faced choices that would determine the fate of his people. It was a critical moment in history. Zedekiah found himself caught between empires. Egypt to the south, Babylon to the north. The prophet Jeremiah, a messenger from Yahweh, gave him clear advice. Jeremiah warned him repeatedly. He urged Zedekiah to submit to the king of Babylon. This, Jeremiah said, was the only way to save Jerusalem and its people from utter destruction. It was a difficult message, a call for surrender, a path that required humility and foresight. But Zedekiah struggled. He was surrounded by other advisors. Some likely urged defiance, promising victory or alliances. He vacillated, he hesitated, he ultimately made a fatal choice. The story of Zedekiah's downfall is so significant. It is recounted again in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 52, verse 11. This chapter serves as a historical appendix, confirming the grim details. Once more we read the stark phrase, "He put out the eyes of Zedekiah." The same verb in its causative form is used. The Babylonians deliberately and cruelly took his sight. This repetition emphasizes the finality and horror of this act. It was a punishment designed to be unforgettable. Consider the terrible irony. Zedekiah, the king who refused to the political and spiritual truth presented by Jeremiah. He who chose a path of rebellion despite clear warnings of its outcome. He ended his reign physically blind. The last image seared into his memory before darkness fell was the brutal execution of his own children. It was a punishment of unimaginable cruelty, a personal tragedy wrapped within a national disaster. After being blinded, Zedekiah was bound in bronze chains. He was taken as a captive to the land of Babylon. The victorious king of Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar, put him in prison. There he remained in darkness and disgrace until the day of his death. So what have we discovered on this journey? By exploring this ancient Hebrew word and its uses, this powerful idea of being made blind, actively losing sight, it reveals that blindness in the biblical worldview is far more than just a physical condition. It's a complex symbol with profound implications. It speaks to how we perceive, understand, and judge. It challenges us to consider what might be clouding our own vision. Physical blindness, the inability to see with one's eyes, is a reality. The Bible shows people experiencing this. It often calls for compassion and support for them. But the metaphorical blindness, the inability or refusal to see truth, justice, or wisdom, this is presented as a pervasive danger, a threat to individuals and entire societies. This inner blindness can be self-inflicted through stubbornness or pride, or it can be caused by external forces like the seductive power of a bribe, or the misleading words of false counselors. These ancient warnings about being blinded still resonate with us today. Bribes and corruption still blind those in power, leading to injustice. Greed can make leaders and corporations blind to long-term consequences. Ideology or prejudice can blind people to the humanity of others. we can be blind to the fragility of our planet, ignoring the signs of distress. The core challenge remains to see clearly amidst many distractions. Stay tuned for our next episode where we'll be looking at what it means to have a reprobate mind. This can be associated with blindness. I pray that you can get a blessing out of this message. Yahweh bless you all. Shalom.